Have you ever wondered where your soul was before you were born? What awaited you in that silent, eternal expanse before your first breath? Ancient wisdom across civilizations whispers that our existence didn't begin at birth. There was a pre-life realm, a place of planning, promise, and potent choice. In this video, we explore, where were you before you were born? Ancient texts finally answer it, diving into sacred manuscripts, age-old prophecies, and mystical philosophies that propose something truly astonishing. Our souls existed long before our bodies, and in that liminal space, we chose our lives. Across cultures, from the Vedic sages of India to the mystics of Tibet, the dreamers of ancient Egypt to Plato's dialogues, there are records of a realm beyond time, a spiritual workshop where souls encountered divine beings, reviewed possible lives, and even agreed to their own destinies before descending into human form. What if your deepest gifts and your most pressing challenges were deliberately selected by you beforehand? Could it be that your soul came here armed with purpose, not by accident? We'll begin with Vedic and Hindu texts, which describe the Garbhaloka and Pitraloka, realms where souls reside between incarnations. The Brihadanayaka Upanishad speaks of souls merging with the universal self, then withdrawing to exist in a subtle body until reborn. The Bhagavad Gita even mentions that souls move between life and death as one changes clothes. But before each lifetime, it's believed souls plan what lessons to learn next, what karma to resolve. They meet spiritual guides like Chitragupta in some traditions, who remind them of what they agreed. You read that right. There are records of spiritual contracts, oaths taken before entering the womb. Then there are the Tibetan Book of the Dead teachings. While its primary purpose is guidance for the dead during the 49-day bardo, many temples hold that the bardo is cyclical. After death, one crosses over into the pre-birth bardo. Here, the soul wanders in luminous states, often meeting the mother-to-be, staying close to her until conception. In some lineages, it's said the unborn child's name, gender, even talents are revealed in this visionary space. Monks perform ceremonies and dream practices to glimpse which soul might be waiting to enter which womb. But this idea isn't limited to Eastern mysticism. Plato, in his dialogue Phaedrus, describes a cosmic chariot ride where souls prepare their future lives before choosing a body, but forget it after birth. And Socrates attaches great importance to that forgotten memory. He even speculates that great poets and seers might be those who remember some of it. In a way, every intuitive insight, flash of déjà vu, or unexplainable sympathy might be echoes from your soul's pre-birth awareness. Ancient Egypt offers another compelling chapter. The Book of the Dead, while primarily a guide for the soul's journey after death, is based upon teachings thought to have originated in even older pyramid texts. These texts mention the soul's journey through Duat, an underworld realm, and eventually rejoining cosmic lights before rebirth. The Egyptians believed in the Ka, Ba, and Ak, the spiritual components of a person. Before birth, one's Ba would hover near the mother's form, watching, learning, choosing, and finally entering at the right time. Rituals, names given to children, even parental dreams were interpreted as spiritual signposts, pointing to a soul already watching and awaiting. Native American vision quests also tell of souls in dreamlike worlds before birth. The Lakota Sioux teach of a star world where unborn souls choose relatives, pick a green branch to hold, and decide whether their family will be ready to birth them. It's a place of anticipation and selection. Which tribe, which clan, which family will raise them? They choose through vision, sometimes in trance. That's why names, relationships, and even birth order are considered sacred echoes of pre-birth planning. Modern psychology has echoes of this too. Jungian psychology names this pre-conscious space. Before birth, memories are stored in the unconscious. Some analysts report patients revealing birth trauma memories or feelings of pre-birth choices during deep dream work or hypnotic regression. Could those famous cases of birth memory flashbacks actually be glimpses into this spiritual waiting room? Let's pause. Have you ever experienced an inexplicable connection to a certain parent, a trauma-free memory of a birth situation, or a sense of, I always knew this was my daughter? That might be more than intuition. It could be the echo of pre-birth planning. As we step deeper into this mystic pre-birth terrain, we encounter the Zoroastrian Book of Destiny and the fabled Chinvat Bridge, a bridge of judgment representing the passage of souls both before and after birth. Ancient Persian texts teach that as souls approach the mortal plane, they stand before celestial recorders who inscribe both their future deeds and karmic potential. This is not rigid fate, but rather an agreed-upon path, one etched into the fabric of existence even before your first breath. The Chinvat Bridge isn't just a post-mortem portal. Some scholars interpret it as a prenatal gateway where souls traverse before incarnation. You see, ancient wisdom often folds time back on itself, birth and death as twin portals in a single cosmic loop. Let's pivot to Christian mysticism and Gnostic thought for a moment. Gnostic texts like the Apocryphon of John and the Pistis Sophia speak of a pleroma, a divine fullness where souls originate and from which they descend. Here, souls select fragments of divine knowledge, agree to rescue parts of creation, and prepare for a descent into the physical. This is more than allegory. It's a cosmology of pre-birth purpose. Medieval mystics like Meister Eckhart describe this pre-incarnate realm as the true self's domain, a place of choice and freedom. He writes of flickers of divine selfhood waiting to be clothed in flesh. Fascinatingly, echoes of this show up in near-birth experiences, where individuals report glimpsing a womb-like celestial realm before birth, enveloped in light and peace. Now, ping-pong into quantum field consciousness theories. Some spiritual scientists suggest that our conscious awareness didn't begin with our first heartbeat. It's a facet of a timeless quantum field. In this field, time and form are soft. Birth is just a pointer into a pre-existing continuum. If this is true, then memories of pre-birth aren't fantasy. They're recollections from a deeper layer of reality, previously unrecognized landscapes. People who practice age regression hypnotherapy sometimes recount floating in a misty realm of light, choosing colors, shapes, even the type of parents they'd have. These reports mirror spiritual texts in their outline, supporting the surprising possibility that layers of consciousness can reach beyond the womb. But what of skeptics? How do we distinguish ancient myth from real pre-birth experience? Well, some researchers argue it's about cross-cultural phenomenology, patterns that appear in completely independent cultures across continents and centuries. When Nepalese shamans, Eastern sages, Gnostic monks, and Tibetan lamas all describe the same three stages: pre-birth counsel, selection of traits, and a ceremonial descent into a mother's womb, we might be seeing glimpses of real experience, not coincidence. And to back this, researchers like Brian Weiss, famous for past life regression, highlight that regression hypnosis also often reveals a pre-birth stage, long before the soul re-enters its mother's body. Now, let's make this practical. If you're curious to explore your pre-birth story, here's a simple contemplative method to start. At night, before sleep, place your hand on your belly and softly ask, "Where was I before I was born?" Close your eyes. Let imagery come, colors, spaces, textures, emotions. After waking, jot down images or words. Do this nightly for a week. You may notice surprising shifts, feelings of returning, a sense of calm, or uncanny resonance with myths. This isn't about proving or explaining. It's about experiencing and relating. Another practice is dream incubation. Write a simple prompt on your nightstand. I choose to remember my pre-birth realm. Place a soft light and a quiet bell there. Before sleep, read the prompt, ring the bell, then fall asleep. In the morning, while still drowsy, ask the prompt again. Give yourself 30 seconds to speak or write whatever arises. Over time, subtle images, soft light, cosmic halls, guardians may come. Even if just symbolic, they carry meaning. This journey taps into your depth psyche, where images and archaisms resonate with your soul's core. Jung called these archetypal fields, timeless strata of shared human experience. Pre-birth imagery often evokes thresholds, bridges, gates, libraries, symbolizing both memory and choice. The images are as personal as they are universal. They reveal your soul's orientation before birth, its gifts, hopes, and healing themes. But caution is wise. This corridor of experience can also reveal shadows, feelings of unpreparedness, fear of loss, separation anxiety from leaving the pre-birth realm. These aren't hallucinations. They're emotional echoes calling for integration. Journaling helps. As these fears arise, write them down and invite them to speak. Ask, what did I leave behind? What do I need to bring forward? A week of careful dialogue can transform anxiety into insight, depth into direction. In summary, so far, so many ancient traditions, mystical experiences, regression cases, and cross-cultural reports describe a realm before birth, a place where soul and choice meet, where life's themes are sketched. Whether metaphor or memory, whether myth or magic, the resonance is profound. We return to the question, where were you before you were born? The experiences we've explored, ancient scriptures, regression patients, near-birth flashbacks, aren't just intriguing stories. They offer profound opportunities for soul integration, destiny alignment, and healing. Imagine someone, let's call her Maya, who through gentle hypnotherapy recalled floating in a soft amber light, choosing to learn courage in her next life. During her 30s, she was inexplicably drawn to overcoming fear, stepping into leadership. Suddenly, it made sense. Her soul had planned this journey beforehand. She said, "Knowing I chose this path gave me strength when I felt lost. It became my inner compass." Another story. Daniel dreamed of two doors, one bright and open, one dark but welcoming. He ignored it for months until a crisis forced a choice. The door he picked echoed the dream exactly. Realizing it wasn't random, he embraced his life's decision as a soul-level calling, even when it meant leaving a safe job. He said, "That pre-birth vision became the map I needed." Physician Dr. Amina wrote in her memoir about a moment in early pregnancy when she felt a presence inside her saying, "I'm here." Later, she discovered that old Tibetan midwives still recognized that moment as the soul entering the womb. It shifted her relationship to birth entirely. She began to treat pregnancy as a sacred passage, not just a medical process. These aren't anomalies, they're invitations. What if you carry a pre-birth mission inside you? What if the dreams, the intuition, the sudden passion are not random, but echoes of your soul's promise? How do you find your pre-birth mission and then bring it into action? Track recurring imagery and metaphors. Do you often dream of thresholds, guides, tunnels, or classrooms that aren't earthbound? These are often pre-birth templates. Notice them. Journal your resonance. Which intuitively found passions or past life feelings evoke a deep yes inside you? Those might point to your soul's plan. Ask directly. Say aloud before sleep or meditation. If I chose my life before birth, show me now. What was my promise? Record any spontaneous word or scene that arises. Act on it. If your pre-birth memory included life lessons with forgiveness, or art or helping others, start small. Paint Forgive guide. Treat each step as aligning with your soul update. These aren't rigid rules, they're mindful invitations. Sacred co-creation between your current self and your pre-birth self. Now the curveball. What if you forget? What if the pulling voice won't come? Then love becomes the key. Love for others, self, learning. These are the universal clues scattered across our life tapes. They function as breadcrumbs leading you home. Because the truth is, pre-birth isn't meant to imprison you. It's meant to empower you. It opens your life to the beauty of the unknown, longing to be lived. Think of your life like a caravan pushing through sand dunes. You can choose to wander, but what if you already circled this land before? What if the dunes are familiar, the path laid by a story seated in you before dawn? If you feel a stirring, see an echo of that path. Comment below. What image or sense do you carry? And share it. These voices are rare, and together they become a chorus. Thank you for traveling with me to the beginning of your greater self, beyond breath, beyond birth. If this resonated, explore more videos on ancient mindscapes, soul purpose, and sacred memory. Subscribe for more journeys between incarnation and insight. Until next time, may your inner compass point true, and may every breath reveal the echo of who you truly are.